All right, what is up, everybody? Chris Mayer here from Broad Street Hockey. A lot of things here to talk about going into tonight's game. Flyers against the Islanders. This kind of feels like the last kind of lineup that we're going to see like this. These next two games, Flyers have three left. There are 3-1 so far. We've seen Matvei Michkov in three of them, and the road games tend to be in the preseason very bland. This lineup is very bland. In terms of forwards and defensemen, and then the goaltenders, I'll talk about the forwards first, then we'll go D, then we'll go goalies, because the defense is probably, or excuse me, the goaltenders, probably the biggest thing to talk about in this game. Forwards, Ole Lixell, Rodrigo Abels, Garnet Hathaway, Scott Lawton, Ryan Paling, Noah Cates, Oscar Eklund, Sawyer Bolton, Rhett Gardner, Joel Farabee, Anthony Richard, and Brendan Fury. Wow. Certainly not the best lineup in this one. As for the defense, Helga Grans, Igor Zamula, Adam Ginning, Emil Andre, Rasmus Ristolainen, and Eric Johnson. Okay, fine. Not great, not necessarily fantastic. I haven't really liked Adam Jennings in many of the games he's played. Zamula, Ristolainen, they kind of played a little bit last game. I think Andre's had a pretty solid camp. It's pretty much speaks for itself there with the D. And then Alexei Kolosov, number 35 on the roster, Ivan Fedotov as well. So the two Russian goaltenders, well, really Kolosov's more Belarusian, but whatever, you get my point. Those guys are in. We will see Alexei Kolosov tonight. I don't know if it's for half the game, a period, what, but he will be playing. As for the offense, look, I mean, it's not ideal. You have a good chunk of guys here who pretty much are just trying to kind of make the team. Like the flight, you're allowed to dress guys that, are cut and that aren't, in the preseason, you can kind of do whatever. So, you have guys like Bolton, Gardner, guys like that, right? Abels and Eklund, they're still trying to find a spot. Noah Cates hasn't really done anything. I think Owe Lixel honestly could kind of make the team with the way that his camp has been going. He had the assist the other night on Michkov's goal, had the goal in Washington. He's had a pretty good camp so far. He's been able to, when you put Lixel with guys, he can kind of score. I think it's also a pretty big thing for Farabee and Cates. Those are two guys, and you have Paling. That's probably something close to the Flyers' top line tonight. But the big thing is Kolosov. I mean, Kolosov is a guy who obviously had a huge anticipated way of coming over here. You wanted to see Kolosov right away, and you couldn't because he wasn't going to come. And there was this whole thing about like, hey, is he homesick? Hey, does he not want to be here? Yada yada yada. Does he not want to play in Philly? It was like, holy shit, this is Cutter Gauthier all over again. And then it wasn't, and he's here, and they resolved it. And there was the talk from the Phantoms with the playoffs that they tried to get him to come out for dinner, and he wouldn't go, and this whole thing, and it was like, what is going on? And then finally, we're able to figure out that everything is resolved. He's coming. He's here. He was at camp the other day. Um, he's not a huge goaltender, small. He has some good movement. Again, everybody knows the skill and all that. In terms of numbers and things like that, I'll go over them again just in case you've kind of missed them with everything that's been going on. 47 games played last year in Dynamo Minsk of the KHL. He had a 907 saves percentage and a 239 goals against average, a 22-21 record, so a little under 500 there. Um, Again, he was good to play 47 games and have those, those numbers. Had a lower save percentage than the year before, but a better goals against average, so he gave up less goals. Um, he gave up actually he gave up more goals on more shots. He gave up three more goals on like 300, 200 something more shots. So, he definitely did have better numbers there. But still, I think everybody knows the talent that Kolosov has and everything like that too. It's just finally trying to see it tonight. So we'll see what happens. I don't necessarily expect the Flyers to win this game, to do much in this game, but it is exciting to see Kolosov. Let me know your guys' thoughts below. Thanks everybody again for watching this video, and I'll talk to you all again soon.